On Tuesday, Jessica picked up her phone to call Master Benjamin. She'd hired a new monitor for the dungeon, which was an immense relief. After they'd had the in-person interview yesterday, Jessica felt much better about her choice to find someone through a security company rather than someone she knew from within the kink community. The only problem was that the new monitor could only start in 2 weeks, which meant she had to figure out how to staff her club in the meantime. She needed to put her pride aside and ask for help, something she wasn't particularly comfortable with. Unfortunately, Vivian hadn't been able to step in and help cover the weekends. Since Master Benjamin had offered his help, he was the logical next candidate to approach. If only she didn't feel so nervous about it. She really needed to stop psyching herself out. It wasn't as if she was calling him to ask him to do another scene with her. A scene like the one they'd done at the party. The one she'd run away from afterward. Or the unexpected kiss in her office that had left her head spinning. No, she was calling him to request his help he had offered, so this really shouldn't be a big deal. He'd made it pretty clear he'd say yes if she could only bring herself to ask him. Plus, it wasn't as if she was asking for herself. No, she was asking to make sure her club members had someone capable monitoring the dungeon. Not only would she be completely exhausted if she tried to pull a double shift the coming weekends, but after the incident with Leonard, she was certain she just didn't feel confident in her own ability to do the job herself, even if she had the power to kick people out of the club. With a huff, she hit the green button. The ringtone sounded immediately, so it was too late to chicken out now. "Hello?" Master Benjamin's voice sounded gruff, and Jessica swallowed.
"Yes, hello. This is Jessica Levington from Club B. I hope this is an okay time."
"Jessica," he sounded pleased. "This is fine. What can I do for you? Are you having trouble hiring someone?"
"No, actually, I hired someone yesterday. Even though I found them via the security company, they seemed comfortable with what we do in the club. It's quite the relief."
"That's great. Would you like me to show him around the dungeon this weekend and give him some pointers?"
"I appreciate the offer, but it's actually a woman, and she won't be able to start until 2 weeks from now. She's a veteran and will certainly be able to hold her own." She could picture him realizing that he'd made a hasty assumption about whom she'd hired and couldn't help but smile slightly. He struck her as the type of man who'd take mental note of his mistake and avoid it in the future. "Okay, well, would you like me to give her a hand when she starts working, to introduce her to some of the safety issues she'll need to watch out for, as a former dungeon monitor of yours, so to speak?" It was time to ask him for the favor she needed. Luckily, he seemed willing enough to help. "Well, actually, I was hoping your offer still stands to help this weekend to monitor the club, and perhaps the weekend after as well, until my new monitor can start."
A long pause followed, and she suppressed the urge to babble. Instead, she waited. "Certainly, I'm happy to help. However, I would like to talk to you about the other weekend. Would you be free for dinner tomorrow?"
"Dinner?"
She knew she sounded shocked, but this was definitely not what she'd expected.
"Why dinner?"
His gruff laugh made her think of the way his eyes crinkled when he grinned. "Well, I eat it every day, and I like to think that conversations are more relaxed over a meal. Since I have a bit of a drive to your place, it would be impractical to come during the day, so dinner is the most logical choice."
"But why do you need to talk to me?"